He's an old head.
Youngins are really starting to get on my damn nerves.
He's a purveyor of nonsense. He's a Georgia high school coaching job influencer. His favorite Bible verse is, Jesus wept. He's the man of constant sorrow, Chris Lamb.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sun Coaches Podcast, and we are here at the NIKE Coach of the Year Clinic in Washington, D.C. And today I've got Coach William Fly from Mallard Creek High School in Charlotte, North Carolina. Coach, thanks for being on with us.
That's pretty cool. Awesome to be here.
Coach Fly has been a staff member for the NIKE Coach of the Year Clinic along with his other duties at Mallard Creek High School. How long have you been working for the
my first one I came to was February 2015, and then we've just been coming ever since. First, it was kind of an escape to get away from the cold of North Carolina, enjoy some sun, and then it just kind of turned into what it is now. And then now, taking the show on the road to DC, where it's not quite so sunny, but it's all good.
Do you you're from Virginia originally, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Suffolk, Virginia, which is like towards Virginia Beach. But don't nobody know where Suffolk is. So I just tell them Hampton Road, 757. Suffolk is just like, their greatest achievement is the Great Dismal Swamp.
What is that?
It's a swamp.
Oh, well, thus the name.
The Great Dismal Swamp, yeah. You would take field trips in elementary school to the Great Dismal Swamp and fight off pterodactyl mosquitoes. So
that's fantastic. And you went and played college football, correct?
Yeah, so I went to Kingsburg High School in Suffolk. Recruited to Greensboro College in Greensboro, Division III school, like smack dab middle of Greensboro. We played in the USA South Conference. We played teams like Ferrum, LaGrange, Methodist, North Carolina Wesleyan, Christopher Newport. That was kind of my chance to play the next level, and I didn't want to stay home. So,
and what position did you play?
I played center, guard, and they tried me at fullback, but then they figured I couldn't catch. So that didn't last too long.
That's awesome. So now I know you're the strength coach at Mallard Creek, but when you got out of school, where did you start coaching?
My first stop was at Richmond Senior High School, which is in Rockingham, North Carolina. It's a single high school system.
Traditional powerhouse.
Yeah, for the longest time, the 80s, 90s, 2000s, way back to the 70s. It's a powerhouse in North Carolina. Started off, I was the JV defensive line coach. My first teaching job was actually doing elementary school PE. And I actually got my football job first, and then they kind of shot me around to different schools to see where I would land and stick. So I ended up doing elementary school PE for 4 years. Did JV D-line and kind of worked my way up to JV DC, and then the final year there I was JV head coach. And that's when I finally got my chance to be in the weight room and all that, and it's kind of never went back to teaching in a regular classroom.
Any good stories out of Rockingham?
Okay. So I first drove down there to initially interview at a middle school, to be at as a middle school, kind of like in the same little area. It would have been middle school head coach, middle school PE teacher. Talking to a lady on the phone, which was a Greensboro College graduate. I got this. So drove down there, suit and tie, everything, ready to go. It's July. Get down there, show up for the interview. Hey, I'm William Fly, I'm here for the interview. And the lady at the front desk goes, "Oh, we done filled the job already."
No.
And I'm like, no, that's incorrect. I just drove from, at the time I was living in a place called Stoneville, North Carolina, which is almost like you can throw a rock and hit Virginia. So I just like, man, I just drove 2.5 hours for this interview. I'm here to interview for the job. Oh, no, we just filled it yesterday. Like, oh, there's nobody I can talk to? No. All right. So mad at the world. I'd been talking to the head coach who was there at the time, Yeah, just come on to the field. No, they're doing 7-on-7s. It's July, and like it must be like Georgia too. Like Richmond County heat's different.
And you're tied up.
I'm like at buttons,
suited up,
buttons, like uncomfortable shoes and socks. I got leg prisons on. It's like it's not fun. So I'm sitting watching 7-on-7 in this full get up, sweating my tail off, and that's kind of how it started. That's how I got my first coaching job, and I've been coaching North Carolina since 2012.
So where'd you go after that?
I was there for 5 years, and then I went to North Mecklenburg High School, which is in Charlotte Mecklenburg Schools, which is I think now it's the 11th largest district in the nation. We have over 26 high schools.
Good Lord.
So it's a lot. So North Mech was that. If you look around Charlotte, there's a highway that goes in a big old circle called 485. And so North Mech, hinting the name, was the very, very north part of the school district. So I got there. I was taught the weightlifting classes, offensive line coach, JV head coach, huddle guy, headset guy, fix this guy. We were there all the way until COVID. And then we said, hey, that'd be a great idea to switch jobs during COVID. So that's when we went to Northwest Cabarrus, which is in Concord. And as maybe some of the people that are listening had been through a job switch, trying to install an offense virtually.
Oh, I bet that was awesome.
Trying to teach inside zone, install, outside zone, install to a bunch of blank squares on the computer. But it was funny, though. For the longest time, they thought I was at least like 6 foot. Because for at least 6 months, I'm just a head and a big booming voice. Like, oh, Coach Fly got to be tall. And so like in North Carolina, they were off and on. Like, we're going to play, we're not going to play. We're going to play, we're not going to play. And so that might have been the first go at it, which has been like October, November. Hey, you can go outside and no more than so many people, all that mess. So I pull up and they were disappointed. Like, Coach Fly, we thought you'd be taller. I'm like, why? Like, oh, there's the voice. We just thought you'd be 6 foot, Coach Fly. And so that we were there during COVID ball, which in North Carolina happened like in the winter. So like first game was like February something. We got 6, 7 games. Then went right into track. Went right into the next season. So it was just a very, very, very long season. And then from there, I got kind of people asking, like, hey, would you want to do, full-time strength, stuff like that. I had some interviews here and there. But Mallard Creek called me in like December 2021. Like, hey, would you be interested? I thought they were playing. Like, yeah, I'll come talk to you. What do you need? Like, this is what I need. Wrote it down. I don't want to coach no sports. I don't teach PE. I want to do this the correct way. So December came around, nothing. Like, they're not serious. January came around, yeah. All of a sudden, February, yeah, we can do it. Like, oh, well, this is for real. And so I got to Mallard Creek March 2022, and I think right now in North Carolina, I'm one of like 5 full-time strength coaches. Where we don't have to coach any sports or drive no buses, no laundry, ain't got to pull lines, don't have to upload huddle. So it's been very enjoyable in that standpoint, but I still get my fix on Friday night where go out there, do the warm-up and everything, and I'm the professional get-back guy, which is not as fun as I thought it would be.
And you have multiple strength certifications, don't you? Aren't you?
Yeah, so I have USA weightlifting level 1 through our association, the National High School Strength Coach Association. I'm certified through them, HSSCC, Reflexive Performance Reset level 1, velocity-based training certified. There's a bunch of stuff, but some of them certifications, people have them and they still can't coach the weight of a cardboard box. So
you enjoy the freedom of just being able to be the director of strength and conditioning for the whole athletic program, as opposed to.
Well, it was hard because I was trying to do both. To where, like, for the longest time, I thought I want to be a head coach and I had that itch for a long, long time, so I made moves to step towards that goal, and it got to be really hard to do both, at least at the level that I thought it needed to be done. I admit, like, you can do both like at a B minus, A minus type level, but like something's always getting shafted.
Right.
Where like, hey, I'm giving like A plus effort, trying to figure out how we're going to block inside zone to a bear front, but then like the weight room part, that's getting the back seat because you're spending so much time doing this. And then same thing the other way. I got this really cool scheme of, building strength and doing this and like this speed thing that's really cool, but then then the football takes a back seat where you can't. There's some folks that really can do both. And there's some folks that I know in South Carolina, North Carolina, they do both really, really well. I just know that I'm not one of those. I could probably, maybe I was at a smaller school maybe, but Mallard Creek is one of the biggest schools in the state. We have 2,400 kids. So we're 4A, getting ready to do the classification. So we end up being 8A in North Carolina. So it was just a lot. And then my daughter was born. It's like, nah, this ain't it.
And at Mallard Creek, I know y'all played Buford last year. So y'all play like a national schedule.
Yeah, we play a national schedule. So we played, had the luxury of playing Buford twice. First time we played Buford, went to their Taj Mahal of a place, got mollywopped 50-something to 6. And then this past season they came to us, and it was a little different. We lost 10-7. So that was a drastic change in how that competition looked and stuff like that. We play teams out of South Carolina. Our head coach is all about playing a national schedule, try to give our kids the best experience possible. And this year we'll actually play, at least as I thought it was before I left, playing 2 schools. I think we're playing Grayson, and then those
Prince Avenue
Christian.
Yeah.
And then we're playing a juggernaut team out of the east part of the state of North Carolina, I believe, in Cardinal Gibbons. So our schedule is definitely not like a cupcake schedule at all. And so we have to train a certain way to meet those standards.
So when you get ready to set up your program, do the coaches come to you and work? I mean, do they outline what they want, or do you just kind of
like other sports, or just from a football standpoint?
All of them.
Like our program is an athletic based program, to where everybody needs to hinge, everybody needs to squat, everybody needs to be able to push and pull. That's what we really focus on. Everybody needs to sprint. Everybody needs to jump. There are some modifications we make for certain sports, like overhead athletes, like volleyball. We might, we're not going to bench press our volleyball girls. But I mean, everybody, we just train. We just train and work out and just try to become better athletes. I really don't let coaches dictate their training. They might get suggestions, like, hey, we got a game this day. We have things that are in place to help with that. We have like a stoplight system. So like if it's a day before a game, it's a yellow light day. That means you're going to do what it says, what the program says, just cut the reps in half. So instead of doing 6, just do 3. If it's the day of a game, it's a red light day. So we're going to cut the reps in half, don't do the last set. So that's kind of how we accommodate for like in-season games. Now when we program everything for football in the fall with Friday in mind. But sometimes, volleyball's got games on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or baseball's got random games. So that's how we modify. But yeah, we're an athletic-based program, and I mean, I hate to say it, but either you're in or you're out.
So there's no, you don't do sports specific. You don't have to have a different program for.
I don't think you do. I mean, they're athletes. I mean, I think you're doing too many fancy things. I think that kind of just gets in the way. You're too worried about teaching the fancy things, and the kids ain't gonna remember it no way. So we keep everything as simple as we can make it, so that way it can be repeated and taught over and over again. And eventually, the kids end up being the coaches, to where the kids can coach. Hey, they've been doing the same thing for 2 years. Hey, this is how we do squats. This is how we bench, stuff like that. They coach for me, so that way I can work on other parts of the room, or It's just tons easier. It's just me. I have an assistant, but he's not paid. He's there because he wants to be there. But sometimes it's just me and 90 kids.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about the size of the classroom because I know you've struggled. We've talked about it off air about how you've been inundated with youngins in the weight room.
Yeah. So I mean, there's 2 teachers, and but they for some reason they think that, hey, you need somewhere to go. Let's put you in the most dangerous room we can find with all these weights. But I guess unfortunately, I can master like chaos. I can structure chaos in a way where it doesn't seem so chaotic and keeps kids safe. Probably should maybe change that so maybe they won't want to put kids in my class. Little Jimmys and Joes, ERWs that don't want to do anything. But we're working NARPs. But we have some like civilian type kids that they train just like everybody else, and they want to be there. So we do what we can with them, but there's quite a few kids that they just don't want to be there, and so they're gonna sandbag it up. You're gonna be BFFs with a 10, 20, 30-pound sandbag, and best of luck to you. We'll see you in June. And they get frustrated. Well, could I bench press? I'm like, nah, you're not at that level yet. I mean, it's not even like a physical thing. It's just, no, you don't want to be here. So we have like a commitment like scale to where like you're resistant, reluctant, compliant, committed, or compelled. To where, and we label everything with like winning and losing. So if you're reluctant, you're losing. Like you're 0-10. Like, bruh. Like you're bad. Like, no. You're not going to do what everybody else gets to do. Now, if you want to move up the scale, move from reluctant to resistant, or resistant to compliant, where you're like average, you're like 500. Yeah, you're in the play-in tournament of the NCAA tournament or whatever. Like you're like 5-5 type thing. Like we can start talking a little bit about doing the quote unquote fun things.
You're going to the NIKE COTY
yeah, you're going to go to the
CarQuest Bowl.
You're going to go to the what was the game they had in Charlotte? Oh, they had at UNC.
Duke's Mayo Bowl.
No, they moved the Bahamas Bowl.
Oh yeah.
They called it the famous Toastery Bowl.
Oh yeah.
To where the coach got dumped with head coach got dumped with toast.
Oh, it was actual toast.
It was actual pieces of bread they got dumped on when they won.
Oh, that's awesome. You should do that in class.
Dumping toast on people?
Yeah.
Nah.
That's too much effort.
That brings up another story. So the teams that were competing, I guess we can't say the names. You can probably Google it and figure it out who was playing in this bowl game involving toast. But they wanted to practice at school. It's like, okay, well, no. We open the gate, you can practice at the school.
So they practice at your place? Yeah,
they practice at school and want to use the weight room for their other injured kids, stuff like that, which is cool. All right. So they want to practice during the school day. And so there's not many opportunities a kid can just go out to the stadium and watch a college team practice at your place. So it's 4th block. It's end of the day. We going outside. We can go. Our coaches there in the P department. We can go watch practice. And then the head coach of this university, and they ended up losing, started freaking out. Like, they got their phones out. They're going to record our stuff and send it to the other team. Like, bro, hey, none of our ding-dong kids going to sit up here and record your stuff and then have the time or the effort to go send it to Coach so-and-so at the other team. Ain't nobody got time for that. Like, y'all playing in the Toast Bowl. If that's the biggest worry you got, like, best of luck to you. Funny thing was that team that the coach was worried about, the cameras and stuff, they ended up blowing like this 20-point lead and getting like curb stomped by this other team. So
he didn't get the toast dumped on his head.
No, he didn't get no toast on his head.
And Mallard Creek kids were sending them texts over there. That's what happened.
That's what it was. They took a picture of this play. Maybe you learn how to hold a field goal or something like that. Worry about some kid in the back.
So you also do training on the side too, don't you? You've got your own business.
Yeah. So I dabble in a lot of side hustles. So I train kids at a facility in Mooresville, North Carolina, to where we cater
And what's that called?
It's called Discover Fitness, Strength and Conditioning. And it's kind of, I train kids as young as 10 years old, and then we train athletes all the way up to like 20, 21. And we have like adult populations that train there. And so it's anywhere that's one-on-one to like 8 at a time. And that's it. I mean, it's easy. When you're dealing with 90 kids at one time, I can handle 8.
Right.
I can handle 8.
Yeah.
And it's no issue at all. But that's a lot more like personal, like not manicured. What's the word? Like customized programs. We put them through like movement evaluation, stuff like that. We have like a fancy little scale called an InBody. They get on that, measures their total body fat and stuff like that. And you like tell you everything, like your arms and everything. Sometimes it's a little too much. Like I don't really want to know that about. I carry this much weight where? Like, nah, we're going to ball that up. And then I write programs on the side remotely through my little side business called Fly Performance and Wellness. Right now is just a lot of remote programming, trying to kind of turn that into like consulting, helping other high school coaches out there with their programs, whether it's using like a software like we use called Team Builder or like Excel sheets, Google Sheets, where I'm writing programs for schools. That's kind of like the next step that we're trying to take it to just help people out. Because there's just some schools that they need the help. And they got some poor soul in the weight room that he's trying his best. It's not like he's not trying, but he's just doing what he knows. And what he knows is 1988, whatever he did in high school.
Do y'all have a North Carolina High School Strength Association? Is that something?
Not in North Carolina. We have one in South Carolina. So really, a lot of our growth that we've done has been through the National High School Strength Coach Association, which is a nationwide organization. And really right now we're trying to just increase awareness and like your schools need full-time strength coaches. To where you got to go in places in Georgia where it's a little more common. South Carolina, definitely more common. Like I said earlier, I'm only one of 5 full-time guys in North Carolina. Now, there's guys that run the weight room, but they are asked to coach this sport or that sport, drive the bus. But we're having more and more folks hired. It's like every year it seems like there's another school that takes the jump and makes that decision. And we as an organization try to help them in making that jump to kind of give them the resources they need in terms of like knowledge and just support. Hey, look, you're not crazy. Because for some schools, it's a big risk.
Right.
Like, the PE spots are like gold. And you were saying it, and we were just talking about something about earlier, like PE spots don't open unless somebody dies or gets fired.
Right.
So, like, the fact that you have a PE job and that you're going to give it to somebody who doesn't coach a sport, not driving a bus, it's kind of like, oh, my goodness, what are you doing? But no, my school, they took that jump, and every day I try to make sure that that jump means something. How
good are they about making sure y'all get all the athletes in there? And how do you deal with it if you don't get them all? I mean, do you get them before school or after school?
Right now, it is kind of a mix of everything, to where we get a majority of our football kids somehow, some way between 7:15 and 2:15.
So there's not like a football period?
Not yet, no. We have a principal who's a former college athlete, played big time Division II football in North Carolina, and he gets it. So we met with him about having it. I've laid it all out and everything, and it should be just as easy. Hey, here you go. Did all the work for you. He's all about it. So it's really trying to get our guidance folks kind of on board, and that would be a whole nother podcast about understanding how guidance departments work and language and making them think that it's their idea and, hey, it's a good idea. Hey, you should do it. Yeah, it's your idea. Yeah. But yeah, we all during the school day, the kids we don't have, we get after school, but after school we have 30-minute chunks. So it's like 2:30 to 3, trying to squeeze in 90 minutes of work in 30 minutes. So they don't get shafted, but they get an extremely abbreviated version of what the kids get during class. 'Cause during class, we get 80, 90 minutes. And then some blocks get almost like 2 hours based upon what block it is with lunches and all that. So it's a challenge, but we make it work.
Obviously so, because it's amazing to me that y'all are able to compete at the level that you are, and you don't have, because I know in Georgia, most of the schools, especially the highly competitive ones, first block or first period is going to be varsity football. And then, second block is going to be JV guys. And then
that's
third block will be your other sports. And then fourth block will be female athletes.
Yeah,
and
that's where North Carolina is tremendously behind, to where they're just not there yet. And I'm not sure if it's an issue of want to or nobody has ever mapped it out. That's just something that's not the norm in North Carolina. It's not a school as district as big as ours. Now, like Richmond County, it's not a problem. The football is the show. That's the only thing going on in Richmond County. It's just like one of those Friday Night Lights sort of things. You just turn the color instead of black and white. It's Kelly green and gold. But with the school district such as big as CMS, it's kind of like monkey see, monkey do. And it's like, well, this school doesn't do it, so why do we need to do it? But I think being able to be so detailed and put everything out in a way where there's no confusion. I've mapped out everything. Here's the matrix. Here's the sections. How many kids you can put in a section. Here's the kids that you need to put in there. I've done all the work for them. So I'm hoping that at my ADD, my TISM, being really organized will help us out tons and get all these kids into class. So I get them into class, that frees up time after school to start training other sports. Or shoot, I might be able to, go home early.
Yeah,
that'd be nice.
Be a regular person.
Yeah, I don't know what that is, but having a 2-year-old, I don't know what regular people do.
Yeah, that's rough. I know that's interesting. You're going to be speaking at some point in time. What are you going to be talking about at this clinic?
I think I'm speaking tomorrow morning at some point. And it's really just about designing a year-round athletic performance program. So just ideas of how do you work, at least from a football standpoint, how do you work backwards? So thinking everybody's goal in December is to do what?
Win state
championship. So whatever that North Carolina, we're going to go to North Carolina State or UNC or Wake Forest or wherever they have the title games at. And so I just work backwards. So that way we want to be our absolute strongest or absolute fastest on that day. And we just work everything backwards from that state championship game all the way back until January, or unfortunately for us, December, when we lost in the second round. And just building everything up, periodization, understanding exercise selection to where, hey, this is exercise you can pick, and how we the order of everything, so that way we're not trying to overtrain the same thing over and over again. We don't do a upper, lower, when is our bench press day? We train everything every day. We just kind of change the priority of what gets done first. I'm going to go over certain rep and set schemes to get certain results, like strength or hypertrophy or endurance. And then kind of going into a little bit about scheduling, how places where we were able to get our kids in class. How do we do it? Understanding your state's graduation requirements, which is a big thing to understand. Because in North Carolina, kids have to take 1 semester of PE. So I can't touch a kid, in theory, until they've done freshman PE. So really not hounding, but educating mamas and daddies, grandma, grandpa, whoever, when they're doing these schedules, hey, we need to go ahead and knock this out, now. Don't wait until he's a junior.
Right.
You wait till he's a junior, then in theory, I can't get a hold of him until he's a junior, at least during the school day. Having articles about why training during the school day is good, no. The brain is more active during the school day. We make them better academic learners in that next class. So potentially having, like you said, football's first block. Hey, if the kid sucks at math, put math second block. He's going to perform better because his brain is active and turned on, and he's more alert, and he can perform better in that worst subject.
Right.
And just, Okay, we're going to have some freebies, and I got a bunch of like free things to give away, like QR codes of programs and plans and stuff like that. Where just trying to help people, because at some point, way back in 2012, somebody helped me to get where I'm at, and I've been really lucky to do this presentation twice. It was the second time doing it, so being able to help people and just give back. Because like nothing we do is original. Just like football, everybody does like inside zone. I never got why people were so like secretive of like what they do. Like, bro, it's counter.
Yeah. Center
go that way, guard go that way. It's not that daggone hard. Now, why are we being so secretive of all these schemes that you learn from somebody else? Now maybe how you apply it is like different. Like, I mean,
yeah, ways not plays.
And then the same thing for the weight room. Like, people are so secretive about what you do. I'm like, I mean, we all do this. I mean, we're trying to help kids, right? So if you're really in the business by helping kids, I mean, why don't you just, hey, this is what we do. Obviously, you have to be able to do it and coach the way that I do it. At the end of the day, it's helping kids. Why don't we just, I don't know, help people?
Well, I know y'all have got elite speed kids at Mallard Creek.
Yeah, we're blessed.
How hard is it to deal, I mean, you have some like legit like junior Olympian type speed kids.
We had our 4x4 team last spring. They were in the pin relays, and they racing some of those legit Jamaican teams. I mean, I think they finished like 9th in the pin relays, and that team ended up winning the state title in the 4x4. One of those kids is going to Rutgers. And then 3 of those kids come back. And then those 3 kids plus another kid, they won an indoor state title. And I think it was the 4x400, one of those things. So we're blessed with speed. And so we just try to train in a certain way to where I'm just trying to not make you faster, but I want to make it to where you can turn on fast when you want to turn it on. To where I can, hey, when it's time to go, like I got the go button. I can go get it. And the teams that we play, I mean, we got to be able to go. And the way that North Carolina's going to end up being, the teams that we have to go through, they go too.
Right.
So we have to train a certain way to make sure those qualities are ready to go when we need them. So that way no one's getting hawked down on a 60-yard bubble. We hey, catch ball, go run fast, do your thing.
Well, hopefully they see, it's apparent to most everyone else the job you're doing there, and they see the fruits of the labor and how much it helps the total sports program, and they see the results on the field as well, obviously, and what you're doing is working, and you're giving back and helping, and able to keep doing that. We
our football team's bought in. Just tonight, our girls basketball team just won the conference tournament. So now they've won the regular season tournament, and now they've won the conference tournament. So they've been bought in our program since I got there in March 2022. Our wrestling program is bought in. We have a kid, he's going to graduate, he's going to go to wrestle at Carolina. Hadn't lost a match in 4 years. 4-time state champion in 4 different weight classes. They won their first wrestling conference title, and as a team. Girls track's bought in. They're really successful. They finished, I think, 4th in the state. So I don't know. I just think results. When if your kids are bought into what we're doing, good things are going to happen. And then your coach, it's part of the culture. And it ends up being the kids are getting on the coach for not bringing them to the weight room, or practice time's going over. Oh, you messed up our weight room time. So then that's it. So coach has to make it a priority, a part of their practice plan. The kids are bought in. Their records are what they are, and the teams that are not bought in, well, yeah,
their records are what they are.
their records are as such.
Right. Man, that's awesome. I sure do appreciate you coming on and sharing with us, how you do the weight room, and having somebody that's a dedicated strength and conditioning coach, and not, doesn't have to worry about coaching other stuff with That's pretty awesome.
Because I'm lucky to do what I do, be one of the few, so I don't take it for granted at all. So every day is, I don't know, they pay me to do it for some reason. And I get to wear gym shorts and a T-shirt all day, and they pay me the same as a math teacher. So some days it's it's easy money.
Well, I sure do appreciate you, Coach. Thanks for being on with us.
I appreciate you.
Yeah.